Hey guys, Eckhart Slaughter here with another top 5 list, and today we're looking at a pretty fun topic. It's the top 5 Star Wars fan creations. And this top 5 list is probably going to be quite a bit different than most of my other lists because there's no real objective way to measure how good a fan creation is. So what I'm personally going to be looking at is what I like the most and what I, as a Star Wars fan, gravitate towards. Alright, let's roll the new intro.
Get ready!
This is where the fun begins.
Now I am the master.
Bad feeling about this.
So number 5 is Star Wars mods, and I use mods plural because it seems kind of unfair to just choose one, and I don't want to have a list just full of Star Wars game mods because that's something for a different day. But we all know how popular Star Wars is, so if a game is moddable and it has a large enough community, there will typically be a Star Wars mod for it, whether it's Skyrim, Arma 3, Homeworld 2, even Minecraft. If it's moddable, probably good Star Wars content there. And I'm gonna guess that some of you may already know this, but my favorite mod is Sins of a Galactic Empire, and that's a mod for the real-time strategy game Sins of a Solar Empire. And the mod is pretty much what we've all wanted as kids, the ability to have giant space battles using your favorite Star Wars factions. And there's actually 6 in total. There's the Republic, the New Republic, the Galactic Empire, the Alliance, the Yuzang Vong, and the Confederacy of Independent Systems. If you want to fight the Empire against the Republic or the New Republic against the Confederacy, that's totally your prerogative, and that's one of the things that makes the game so much fun. Also, the giant ship battles, that certainly doesn't hurt, and I mean, you can build some of the ships that I've mentioned in my previous videos, you know, the Viscount Star Defender, you know, the Super Star Destroyers that we all love. And what I really like the most is that the mod draws heavily from Legends material, and it builds off of some previous Star Wars mods, and really, all around, it's just a whole lot of fun. And because of that game and many others like it, Star Wars video game mods are my 5th favorite fan creation. Number 4 is Laugh It Up Fuzzball, the Star Wars Family Guy trilogy. And I know I may lose some of you guys here, and that's fair. I mean, personally, I'm not even the biggest Family Guy fan myself. I'm more of a Simpsons guy, but I just really appreciate the effort that went into turning these movies into an animated comedy. And I mean, yeah, it's still Family Guy, but you can tell that Seth MacFarlane is a huge Star Wars fan because there's so much love that goes into each one of the 3 episodes of the Family Guy trilogy. And I mean, each episode has scenes that are basically shot-for-shot remakes of the Star Wars scenes that they're drawing from, and that to me is a lot of fun to see as a fan because they add little things into it and they just changed up in little minor ways, but still kind of keep the nuances that we've grown to love. I mean, even the names of the episodes, so for example, the first one is called Blue Harvest, which was also the name of Return of the Jedi while it was in production. You could make the argument, and like I would understand if you did, that because it's an officially licensed Star Wars parody, at least I think it is, that it shouldn't qualify as a fan creation. But to me, the important things are the love that it shows to the original trilogy and the contribution to the Star Wars fan base as a whole. I do also want to give quick shoutouts to both the movie's fanboys and, of course, Spaceballs, which could have also taken the number 4 spot on the list. My 3rd favorite Star Wars fan creation is the art of Fractalsponge, and his real name is Ansel Show, and I hope I'm saying that right. If not, someone please correct me down in the comments. And Ansel is just an extraordinarily talented 3D modeler, and he makes these models of spaceships that are just, they're honestly mind-blowing. They're better than, you know, most of the things we see in official Star Wars media, and they're so good, in fact, that he's worked on some official Star Wars media. He worked on, for example, one of the Star Wars encyclopedias. And I often use pictures of his in my videos, and if you guys like those, and I always try to put a link in the comments, you guys should check that out. And I mean, not only that, if you guys like Star Wars spaceships, you guys like Super Star Destroyers, ships in general, spaceships, just check him out. I promise you, you will not regret it. I'm just gonna put some pictures of his up while we're playing and just take some time to really appreciate the obvious amount of work and dedication that goes into each thing he makes. Also, I mean, the guy modeled the friggin' UNSC Infinity from Halo 4, like that is impressive. So I'm gonna put a link to his page down in the description. Go check it out if you're a Star Wars fan, period. So number 2 is another one of those works that I would encourage anyone to check out if they're a Star Wars fan, pretty much without reservations. You know, even people that have already seen it before, I would tell them to go watch it again. So it's the TIE Fighter short film by Oda King 77077 on YouTube. And this fan creation, this video, is honestly amazing. I'm going to try to talk pretty quickly because I honestly don't want to show you guys too much of it. I want you guys to go check out the link in the description and go watch it for yourself. So the TIE Fighter short film shows us a confrontation between a small Imperial and Rebel fleet, and I'm not going to say any more than that other than that the animation is kind of reminiscent of old 80s TV shows, and the music kind of matches that, and it's a whole lot of fun. I also just want to mention that the way the creator of this has been treated is a little unfair. So he posted a few years ago, before this came out, on 4chan that he was working on this animation, and he posted a brief kind of unfinished clip of it, and someone from there posted it on YouTube. It wasn't him, but one of the 4chan users posted it on YouTube. And it was in its unfinished state, but it was pretty damn impressive. So that meant that when the actual version was released, the official version, that no one really watched it. And I mean, still got 7 million views, but it didn't get the recognition that it otherwise would have had he just kind of surprised the world with it, because the 4chan user had gotten most of the attention already, and that's just really unfortunate. So if you guys haven't seen it, or if you haven't seen it on the official Oda King 77077 channel, I'm going to put a link down in the description. Go watch it, and hell, even if you have seen it before, go watch it again. I know that I have a few times today. My number one favorite Star Wars fan creation is the 501st Legion. And many of you guys probably know the 501st as Darth Vader's personal stormtrooper and at times clone trooper unit. The 501st Legion is kind of a play off that name, and it's a fan organization kind of based on creating very accurate stormtrooper and Imperial costumes. And the 501st is huge. They're not technically an officially licensed Star Wars organization, but I mean, Lucasfilm and Star Wars as a brand really favors them, and there's actually 10,000 members across many countries. But the 501st does more than just creating, screen accurate armor, although admittedly that is a pretty large part of their organization. So I'm going to go over their 3 mission statements. And the first is one that I think we'll all relate to, and that's to promote interest in Star Wars. And I really like the way that they lay this out, so I'm just going to read it straight from their mission statement. While a growing number of people are experiencing a reawakening of their Star Wars fandom, new generations are seeking ways to celebrate their passion for George Lucas's modern mythology. The 501st Legion brings these fans together, reinforcing the enduring longevity of the Star Wars saga. And I do just want to say that enduring longevity is kind of a couple of hard words to work into the middle of a sentence. But their second goal is to facilitate the use of costumes, which also pretty cool. I mean, just more Star Wars fan creations. And their third mission statement is the one that really put them at the top of their list, and it's to contribute to the local community. And I'm just going to read again what they say. While our organization was founded to simply provide a collective identity for costuming fans with similar interests, the 501st is proud to put its resources to good use through fundraising, charity work, and volunteerism. And I mean, that is just great. Like, what better way to represent a fan base than to have the most diehard of your fans out in the community doing great work. And I mean, these guys go to children's hospitals so sick kids can see stormtroopers for the first time, and that is really cool. They also do things to promote the brand in other ways, like they have Star Wars nights at various hockey games or other sports games that 501st members will usually go to. And of course they go on TV, attend conventions, things like that. They're just overall a really positive force for the community, and that is why the 501st is my number one Star Wars fan creation. Anyways guys, I really hope you enjoyed this list. I had a lot of fun making it. It was fun to look at my favorite parts of the Star Wars fandom, but I want to hear about yours. Let me know down in the comments what your favorite Star Wars fan creation is, and to keep it interesting, try to include something that I didn't put on this list. And you could mention a movie that I didn't include in a mod that I didn't mention specifically, that's fine, but try to get a little creative with it. I also do just want to announce that a few people have been asking me to do a Q&A, and I'm going to do that in a couple of weeks. So if you have questions, whether they're purely Star Wars related or kind of about, me and Star Wars, so which Star Wars movie I like the best, feel free to ask them down in the comments and I'll write them down and try to get to as many as I can when I do my Q&A. For the 1 millionth time, thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. May the Force be with you.